The bedroom door locks behind them. Click. I press my back against the wall, heart hammering so loud I'm sure they can hear it. We shouldn't be doing this, I whisper. Kang Dae-sung steps forward, his dark eyes locked on mine like I'm prey he's been hunting for days. Shouldn't? His voice is smooth, dangerous. Or don't want to. Behind me, I hear footsteps. Kang Tae-hyun leans against the locked door, arms crossed, blocking my only exit. You're not leaving, Malia. My name sounds different in his mouth. Possessive. Final. Dae-sung closes the distance between us. His hand comes up, fingers sliding along my jaw, tilting my face toward his. This is insane, I manage. I'm just the maid who. You stopped being just the maid the moment you saved my life. Then he kisses me. Deep. Claiming. Like he's been waiting 6 months to do this and now that he started, he'll never stop. When he finally pulls back, my knees are weak, my lips parted, my mind completely blank. Taehyun's voice comes from the door, low and rough. 6 months you were invisible. Now you're all we see. Dae-sung's thumb brushes across my bottom lip. And we don't let go of what's ours. My name is Malia Johnson. I'm 24 years old, Black American, and 3 days ago I was invisible. Today I'm trapped in a bedroom with 2 Korean Mafia heirs who say they'll kill anyone who tries to take me. And the worst part? I don't want to leave. Okay fam, before we get into how Malia ended up locked in that room with 2 dangerous men, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button right now. Because this story is about to get dark, twisted, dangerous, and absolutely addictive. Drop a like, leave a comment telling me if you'd save them or run, and let's get into it. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. Now let me tell you how Malia ended up in this nightmare. 3 days earlier. I'd been working at the Kang family mansion for 6 months. 6 months. 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week, $3,000 a month. Every dollar sent straight home to Atlanta for my mother's medical bills. Stage 3 breast cancer doesn't pay for itself, and insurance had already tapped out. The Kang mansion wasn't just a house. It was a compound. 30 rooms, manicured gardens, security everywhere. The kind of place that screamed old money and older secrets. I was one of 12 staff members. We cleaned, we cooked, we served, and most importantly, we stayed invisible. The brothers who owned the place? Kang Dae-sung and Kang Tae-hyun. Dae-sung was 30, cold as winter, with a face carved from stone and eyes that could cut glass. He ran the family business, whatever that was. Nobody talked about it directly, but I'd seen enough. Late-night meetings with men in expensive suits. Phone calls in rapid Korean that ended with someone looking terrified. Blood on his cuffs more than once, always explained away as an accident at the office. Taehyun was 28, quieter than his brother but somehow more dangerous. He moved like a predator, all controlled power and watchful silence. While Dae-sung handled business, Taehyun handled problems. The kind that didn't come back. And me? I was furniture. Part of the background. I cleaned Dae-sung's office while he worked, and he never once looked up from his laptop. I served Taehyun breakfast every morning for 6 months, and I don't think he ever saw my face. I was invisible. And honestly, that was fine. I didn't come to Seoul to be noticed. I came to survive. To send money home. To save my mother's life one paycheck at a time. Being invisible kept me safe. Until it didn't. Everything changed at Grandmother Kang's 80th birthday dinner. The formal dining room had been transformed. Crystal chandeliers, silk table runners, enough flowers to stock a wedding. The Kang family went all out for their matriarch. I was part of the serving staff that night. White gloves, black uniform, hair pulled back tight. We moved like ghosts, refilling wine glasses and clearing plates while the family celebrated. Grandmother Kang sat at the head of the table, tiny and fierce, her eyes sharp as knives despite her age. She watched everything, missed nothing. Dae-sung and Taehyun sat on either side of her, dressed in designer suits that probably cost more than my entire year's salary. They looked like what they were, princes of a dark empire. And then there was her. Park Soo-yeon. She sat 3 seats down from Daesung, beautiful in a way that made you understand why men started wars. Designer dress, perfect makeup, the kind of poise that came from old money and older breeding. She'd dated Daesung for 3 years. Everyone knew it. The staff gossiped about it constantly. She was the perfect match, wealthy family, proper connections, fluent in the language of power that the Kang spoke. They'd broken up 6 months ago. Right around the time I started working there. Soo-yeon smiled and laughed with the family like nothing had changed, like she still belonged at that table. But I'd seen the way she looked at Daesung when she thought no one was watching. Rage. Pure, burning rage. I was refilling water glasses, moving quietly around the table, when I saw it. Soo-yeon's hand slipped into her clutch. Pulled out something small. A vial, maybe, or a packet. Her fingers moved fast, practiced, as she glanced around to make sure no one was looking. Then she leaned forward, reaching for the wine bottle to refill Daesung's glass. And in that split second, I saw her pour something into his wine. A powder. It dissolved instantly, invisible in the dark red liquid. My heart stopped. Nobody else had seen it. The family was talking, laughing, distracted. The other servers were in the kitchen. It was just me. I had a choice. Say nothing. Keep my job. Stay invisible. Stay safe. Or risk everything. Daesung reached for his wine glass. I moved. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I gasped, lunging forward and accidentally knocking the glass over. Red wine exploded across the white tablecloth. Across Daesung's pristine white suit jacket. Down the front of his shirt. The entire table went silent. Daesung stood slowly, wine dripping from his clothes. His expression was arctic. You just ruined a $10,000 suit. My hands were shaking. I'm so sorry, sir. I don't know what happened. Let me get you another. Don't bother. His voice could have frozen fire. But Tae-hyun was watching me. Really watching me. His eyes narrowed slightly, and I saw the exact moment he realized something was wrong. Wait. He held up a hand. Kyung, let her speak. Why did you really knock it over? Every eye in the room turned to me. I looked at Soo-yeon. She was staring at me with pure venom, her perfect smile frozen in place. I swallowed hard. I saw her put something in your drink. The room exploded. Grandmother Kang gasped. The other guests started talking all at once. Soo-yeon's face went from pale to furious in half a second. She's lying. Soo-yeon shot to her feet. She's just a maid trying to cause drama. Probably trying to get attention. Daesung's gaze swung from me to Soo-yeon and back again. His expression was unreadable, but something deadly had entered his eyes. Do you know what you're accusing her of? His voice was soft, which somehow made it more terrifying. This woman is family. Your staff. Choose your next words very carefully. I met his eyes. I'd been invisible for 6 months, but not anymore. I know what I saw, sir. Check her purse. Silence. It stretched so long I thought I might pass out from lack of oxygen. Then Tae-hyun moved. He didn't ask permission. He simply walked to Soo-yeon's seat, picked up her designer clutch, and opened it. Don't you dare, Soo-yeon lunged for it, but Tae-hyun held it out of reach. His hand emerged holding a small glass vial. Half empty. He handed it to Daesung without a word. Daesung read the label. His jaw clenched. When he looked up at Soo-yeon, I actually stepped back from the rage in his eyes. Rison, he said quietly. The word landed like a bomb. Grandmother Kang made a sound of horror. Several guests stood up. One woman covered her mouth. You tried to poison me, Daesung continued, his voice devoid of emotion now. Flat. Dead. At my grandmother's birthday dinner. Soo-yeon's composure shattered. Tears streamed down her face, but her expression was twisted with hate. You humiliated me, she screamed. You threw me away like I was nothing. After 3 years. After everything I did for you. I wanted you to suffer like I suffered. Daesung's hand moved in a sharp gesture. Instantly, 2 security guards appeared from the shadows. They must have been waiting in the hallway. Get her out, Daesung said coldly. Call our lawyers. And call the others. They'll want to handle this personally. The others. I didn't know what that meant, but from the way Suyun's face went white, she did. No, she whispered as the guards grabbed her arms. No, please, Daesung, I'm sorry, I wasn't going to actually. You brought poison to my grandmother's table, he said. There is no apology for that. There is no mercy. She started screaming as they dragged her toward the door. This isn't over. You'll regret this. The Choi family won't let this stand. They'll come for all of you. All of you. The door slammed shut, cutting off her voice. The dining room was silent except for Grandmother Kang's shaky breathing. Then she spoke, her voice strong despite her age. The girl who stopped it. Bring her here. Oh no. I approached the head of the table on trembling legs. Grandmother Kang studied me with those sharp, ancient eyes. What is your name, child? Malia, ma'am. Malia Johnson. How long have you worked here, Malia? 6 months, ma'am. Something flickered in her expression. 6 months. And my grandsons have never mentioned you. Because they'd never noticed me. But I didn't say that. She reached out and took my hand. Her grip was surprisingly strong. You saved my grandson's life tonight. The Kang family does not forget debts. I just did what anyone would do, ma'am. No. Her voice was firm. Most people would have stayed silent. You chose courage. That is rare. She released my hand and turned to her grandsons. Daesung. Taehyun. This girl is under our protection now. See that she is taken care of. It wasn't a request. Daesung bowed slightly to his grandmother, then looked at me for the first time, really looked at me, and I felt like he was seeing straight through to my bones. Come with us, he said quietly. We need to talk. They took me to a private study on the 3rd floor. Dark wood, leather chairs, floor-to-ceiling bookshelves. The kind of room where important decisions were made. Or where people were made to disappear. Daesung closed the door. Taehyun leaned against it, arms crossed. I was trapped between them. Sit, Daesung said, gesturing to a chair. I sat. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Daesung poured 3 glasses of whiskey from a crystal decanter. He handed one to Taehyun, kept one for himself, and set the 3rd in front of me. Drink, he said. You've earned it. I took a sip. It burned going down, but it helped steady my nerves. Daesung sat across from me, studying me like I was a puzzle he was trying to solve. What's your full name? Malia Johnson. American? Yes, sir. From Atlanta. How long have you been in Seoul? 7 months. 6 working here. Why did you come to Korea? I hesitated. These weren't the kind of men you lied to. My mother has cancer. Stage 3. The treatment in the US was too expensive, even with insurance. I needed work that paid well enough to send money home. An agency connected me with your household. Daesung's expression didn't change, but something shifted in his eyes. And tonight? Why did you risk your job, possibly your life, to warn me? Because it was the right thing to do. The right thing, he repeated slowly. You know what ricin does to the human body, Malia? I shook my head. It shuts down your cells from the inside out. Organ failure. Bleeding. Agony. And there's no antidote. If you hadn't stopped me from drinking that wine, would have died within 3 days, screaming. He paused. You saved my life. I'm glad I could help, sir. Stop calling me sir, he said quietly. My name is Daesung. His is Taehyun. Use them. That felt wrong somehow. Crossing a line. But I nodded. Okay. Taehyun finally spoke from his position by the door. His voice was deeper than his brother's, rougher. Did you hear what Soo-yeon said? Before they took her away? I thought back. She mentioned the Choi family. The brothers exchanged a look. Park Soo-yeon wasn't acting alone, Dae-sung said carefully. Her family has connections to the Choi syndicate. One of our rivals. They've been wanting to move on our territory for years. My stomach dropped. You think they ordered her to poison you? I know they did, Dae-sung said flatly. Soo-yeon was angry about our breakup, yes. But she's not smart enough to source ricin on her own. Someone gave it to her. Someone told her when and how to use it. This was an assassination attempt. And you stopped it, Taehyun added. Which makes you a witness. More than that, you made the Choi family look foolish. They won't forgive that. Ice flooded my veins. What are you saying? Dae-sung leaned forward. I'm saying you're in danger now, Malia. Serious danger. The Choi family will want to silence you. They'll want revenge for the failed attempt. And they'll want to use you to hurt us. But I'm nobody, I whispered. I'm just a maid. They don't even know my name. They'll know it by morning, Taehyun said grimly. Every guest at that dinner saw what happened. Someone will talk. Someone always talks. By sunrise, the Choi family will know exactly who you are and where to find you. Panic clawed at my throat. So what do I do? I'll leave. I'll go back to Atlanta tonight. They'll never find me there. They'll find you, Dae-sung said with certainty. The Choi family has reach. International reach. If they want you dead, running won't save you. Then what? My voice broke. What am I supposed to do? Dae-sung and Taehyun looked at each other. Some silent communication passed between them. Then Dae-sung spoke, his voice gentle but final. You stay here. With us. Where we can protect you. For how long? Until the threat is neutralized. And how long will that take? His smile was cold. However long it takes to destroy the Choi family completely. They moved me that night. No more staff quarters in the East Wing. Instead, they gave me a guest suite in the brothers' private wing. 3rd floor, west side. Luxury I'd only ever seen while cleaning it. King-sized bed with silk sheets. Walk-in closet already stocked with clothes in my exact size. How did they know? Bathroom with a tub big enough to swim in. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the gardens. And bars on the windows. Subtle, expensive bars, but bars nonetheless. This is for your protection, Taehyun said as he showed me around. No one enters this wing without our permission. You're safe here. Safe. The word felt wrong. What about my things? I asked. From my old room? Already moved. Check the closet. He left me alone. I heard the door close. Heard something click. I tried the handle. Locked. From the outside. I pressed my forehead against the cool wood and tried to breathe. This was protection. That's what they'd said. Protection. It felt like a cage. I didn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about ricin, about poison, about the cold certainty in Dae-sung's voice when he'd said the Choi family would come for me. I thought about my mother in Atlanta, waiting for money that might not come if I died here. I thought about Soo-yeon's screaming threats as they dragged her away. I thought about the way Dae-sung and Taehyun had looked at me in that study. Really looked at me. Like they were seeing me for the first time. Like I was something precious. Or something they owned. Around 3 a.m., I heard gunshots. Distant. Maybe from the gardens. Pop pop pop, then silence. I ran to the window. The gardens were dark, but I could see flashlight beams moving in the distance. Security, probably. Or intruders. I backed away from the window, my heart in my throat. By sunrise, there was a body at the front gate. I didn't see it myself, but I heard the staff talking in hushed, terrified voices. A man. Asian. Mid-30s. Shot twice in the head. And pinned to his chest was a note. I found out what it said later. The maid is next. Daesung and Taehyun came to my room around 8 a.m. They looked like they hadn't slept either. Taehyun had blood on his knuckles. Daesung's shirt was untucked, his tie missing. There was an incident last night, Daesung said without preamble. 3 men tried to breach the property. We dealt with them. Dealt with them. Such a clean phrase for what must have been brutal. The body at the gate? I asked quietly. A message, Taehyun said. From the Choi family. They know you're here. They're coming for you. When? Soon. I wrapped my arms around myself. This is insane. I saved your life and now mine is over. Daesung crossed the room in 3 strides. He caught my chin, forcing me to look up at him. Your life isn't over, he said fiercely. We won't let them touch you. Do you understand? You're under Kang family protection now. That means something. That means everything. Why? I whispered. Why do you care? You didn't even know my name yesterday. Something flickered in his dark eyes. You saved my life, Malia. In our world, that creates a debt. A bond. We protect what's ours. I'm not yours. His thumb brushed across my cheek. The touch was gentle, but his voice was steel. You became ours the moment you knocked over that wine glass. You just didn't know it yet. He released me and stepped back. Stay in this wing. Don't leave without one of us. We're doubling security. The Choi family wants war. They'll get it. They left. I sat on the edge of that enormous bed and tried to process what had just happened. 3 days ago, I was invisible. Now I was trapped in a mansion with 2 Mafia heirs who decided I belonged to them. And somewhere out there, the Choi family was planning my death. I thought about running. About finding a way out, catching a flight to Atlanta, disappearing. But Daesung's words echoed in my mind. Running won't save you. And I realized, with cold certainty, that he was right. The only way out was through. Through them. Through this war. Through whatever darkness was coming. I'd saved their lives. Now they owned mine. Fam, if you're still breathing after that, drop a comment right now. Are you Team Daesung or Team Taehyun? Hit that subscribe button, trust me, you don't want to miss what happens when Malia witnesses her first kill. Like this video if you're already hooked. I woke to the sound of breaking glass. Not close. Somewhere below. But in the dead silence of the mansion, it sounded like an explosion. I sat up in bed, heart pounding, straining to hear. Footsteps. Running. Shouting in Korean. Then gunfire. Not the distant pops from last night. This was close. Inside the house. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Automatic weapons. Multiple shooters. I rolled out of bed and hit the floor, exactly like my dad taught me when I was a kid growing up in Atlanta. Stay low. Stay quiet. Stay alive. More gunfire. Closer now. 2nd floor, maybe. My door burst open. I screamed. Taehyun filled the doorway, dressed in all black, a gun in each hand. Blood splattered across his face and shirt. His eyes found me on the floor. Stay down, he ordered. Don't move. Don't make a sound. What's happening? Choi family. 8 men. Maybe more. He moved to the window, checked the gardens below. They breached the south gate. We're handling it. Handling it? My voice cracked. That's gunfire. That's war, he finished. This is what war sounds like, Malia. Stay in this room. Lock the door behind me. Don't open it for anyone except me or Daesung. How will I know it's really you? He looked back at me. Something fierce burned in his eyes. Because I'll say your name. Your real name. Not the maid or the girl. Malia. That's how you'll know. Then he was gone. I crawled to the door and locked it with shaking hands. The gunfire continued. Shouts. Screams. Something heavy crashed, maybe furniture or a body. I pressed myself into the corner between the bed and the wall, making myself as small as possible, and prayed. I don't know how long it lasted. 20 minutes? An hour? Time stopped meaning anything. Eventually, the gunfire stopped. The silence that followed was worse. I waited, barely breathing. Footsteps in the hallway. Heavy. Multiple people. They stopped outside my door. Malia. Daesung's voice. I scrambled to the door and unlocked it. Both brothers stood there. Covered in blood. Daesung had a cut above his eye, still bleeding. Taehyun's knuckles were split open, raw and bruised. Are you hurt? Daesung asked, his eyes scanning me head to toe. No. No, I'm fine. Are you? We're fine. He stepped into the room, Taehyun following. They both looked exhausted. Wired. The adrenaline still pumping through them. What happened? I whispered. 8 Choi soldiers tried to take the house, Taehyun said flatly. They failed. Failed as in. Dead, Daesung said. All of them. Their bodies are being removed as we speak. 8 men. Dead. Because of me. I must have swayed because suddenly Daesung's hands were on my shoulders, steadying me. Breathe, he commanded. This isn't your fault. They came here for me. They came here because they're at war with us. You're just the excuse they used. His grip tightened. But Malia, listen to me. This proves what I told you. The Choi family won't stop. They'll keep coming. This is only the beginning. How many more will die? As many as it takes, Taehyun said from behind his brother. Until the Choi family is wiped out completely. Every last one of them. I looked at him. Really looked. At the blood on his clothes, the cold certainty in his eyes. This wasn't a man who hesitated. This was a man who killed and slept soundly after. You're scared of us now, Daesung said quietly. I can see it. I was. God help me, I was terrified. But I was also alive. And that was because of them. I'm scared of what you can do, I admitted. But I'm more scared of what happens if you're not here. Something shifted in his expression. Almost like relief. Good. Fear is honest. We can work with fear. Get some rest, Taehyun said. We're posting guards outside your door. 4 men. Armed. No one gets through them. Where will you be? Daesung's smile was cold as winter. Hunting. Day 2. 11:23 p.m. I couldn't sleep. Not after the attack. Not knowing that 8 men had died in this house, their blood probably still being scrubbed from the marble floors. I was sitting by the window, watching the gardens, when my new phone buzzed. The brothers had given it to me that afternoon. Secure line, Daesung had said. Only our numbers are programmed in. If anyone else calls, don't answer. But the screen showed an unknown number. I stared at it. It buzzed again. Against every instinct, I answered. Hello? Heavy breathing. Then a voice I recognized. Hello, Malia. Park Soo-yeon. How did you get this number? I whispered. I have friends. Friends who are very angry about what you did. Her voice was sweet poison. Did you enjoy the show tonight? 8 good men died because of you. They died because you tried to kill Daesung. Semantics. I could hear her smile. But let's talk about what happens next. You're tucked away in that mansion, thinking you're safe. But Malia, sweetie, no one is safe from the Choi family. Not even you. What do you want? I want you to understand something. Her voice hardened. You ruined my life. You embarrassed me in front of everyone who matters. You made me look weak. So I'm going to return the favor. The brothers will protect me. The brothers can't protect everyone. Pause. Tell me, Malia. How's your mother doing? Angela Johnson, right? Lives at 2847 Piedmont Avenue in Atlanta. Stage 3 breast cancer. My blood turned to ice. If you touch her. Relax. I haven't touched her. Yet. But I could. Anytime I want. One phone call and she's gone. Cancer's so unpredictable, isn't it? Easy to speed things along. Tears burned my eyes. Please. Please don't hurt her. She has nothing to do with this. Neither did I until you opened your mouth at that dinner. Suyun's voice dropped to a hiss. This is your fault, Malia. Everything that happens now is on you. Your mother's death. Your brother's death. All the blood that's coming. It's all because you couldn't mind your own business. Suyun. The call ended. I sat there shaking, the phone slipping from my fingers. My mother. They knew where my mother lived. I was on my feet, running to the door, yanking it open. The 4 guards spun around, weapons raised. I need to see Daesung, I gasped. Right now. It's an emergency. They found me in the security office 5 minutes later. I was sitting in front of a wall of monitors, watching security feeds, my phone clutched in my white-knuckled grip. Malia. Daesung's voice was sharp with concern. What happened? She called me. I held up the phone. Suyun. She's working with the Choi family. And she knows where my mother lives. The temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. Show me, Daesung said. I handed him the phone. He checked the call log, his jaw tightening. Then he passed it to Taehyun, who immediately started typing on a nearby computer. She threatened my mother, I said, my voice breaking. Said she could have her killed any time. That it would look like the cancer. Please. Please, you have to. We will, Daesung cut me off. He crouched in front of me, his hands on my knees, forcing me to look at him. Listen to me. Your mother is going to be fine. We're going to handle this. How? She's in Atlanta. You're here. We have people everywhere, Malia. Everywhere. By the time the sun rises in Atlanta, your mother will have security around her 24/7. Former Special Forces. The best money can buy. No one will touch her. And Suyun? His smile was terrifying. We're going to find her. And when we do, she'll regret every word of that phone call. Found her, Taehyun said from the computer. Call was traced to a burner phone. Location pinged at a warehouse in Gangnam. Choi family safe house. Daesung stood. How many? Unknown. Could be a trap. Don't care. Daesung's voice was cold steel. We're going in tonight. Full team. Heavy weapons. Wait. I grabbed his arm. You can't just attack a building. That's insane. What if she's not even there? Then we burn it down anyway and send a message. What message? He looked down at me. That anyone who threatens what's mine dies screaming. They wouldn't let me come. Absolutely not, Daesung said when I suggested it. You stay here. Behind 20 armed guards. In the most secure room in the mansion. She threatened my mother because of me. I should be there when you find her. No. Both brothers said it at the same time. Taehyun added, more gently, you're not ready for what we're going to do to her, Malia. Trust me. You don't want to see it. But I did. Some dark, angry part of me wanted to watch Suyun pay for threatening my family. They left at 1 a.m. 20 men in black tactical gear, loaded into 4 SUVs. I watched from the window as they drove through the gates and disappeared into the Seoul night. The wait was agony. I paced my room. Checked my phone every 30 seconds. Stared at the security feeds showing empty hallways and gardens. At 2:47 a.m., my phone buzzed. A text from Daesung. Just 2 words. We're in. Then nothing. I imagined what was happening. Gunfire. Fighting. Blood. At 3:15 a.m., another text. Found her. My heart hammered. At 3:33 a.m., my phone rang. Daesung's voice was rough. We're bringing her to you. What? No, I don't. You need to see this, Malia. You need to understand what we're protecting you from. What your mercy would have cost. I don't understand. You will. The call ended. They brought Soo-yeon to the mansion at 4 a.m. She was barely recognizable. Bruised. Bleeding. Her designer dress torn and filthy. They'd zip-tied her hands behind her back and she was sobbing hysterically. Daesung and Taehyun dragged her into the basement. A room I'd never seen before. Concrete walls. A drain in the floor. The kind of room designed for things you don't talk about. They'd made me come down. I didn't want to. Every instinct screamed to run. But Daesung's hand on my lower back guided me forward, firm and unyielding. Sit, he said, pointing to a chair against the wall. I sat. Taehyun threw Soo-yeon into a chair in the center of the room. She slumped forward, crying. Please, she sobbed. Please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I was just scared. The Choi family made me do it. Shut up, Taehyun said flatly. Daesung circled her slowly. You threatened Malia's mother. Do you remember that? I didn't mean it. I swear, I would never actually. You said, and I quote, 1 phone call and she's gone. Cancer's so unpredictable. Easy to speed things along. His voice was ice. Does that sound like an empty threat? Soo-yeon's eyes found mine. Malia, please. Tell them I wouldn't have done it. We're both women. We understand each other. You know I was just angry. I stared at her. This woman who tried to kill the man who'd saved me. Who'd threatened my dying mother. Who'd sent 8 men to attack this house. I don't know that, I heard myself say. I don't know anything about you except that you're willing to kill for revenge. Exactly, Daesung said. He pulled something from his pocket. A small vial. The same one from the dinner. Ricin. You know what this does, Soo-yeon? It destroys you from the inside out. Slowly. Painfully. Takes about 3 days. Her eyes went wide with terror. No. No, please, Daesung, don't. You were going to do this to me. To make me suffer. He held up the vial. Seems fair that you experience it yourself. Please. She was screaming now. I'm sorry. I'll do anything. I'll leave Korea. You'll never see me again. You're right, Daesung said quietly. I won't. He nodded to Taehyun. I realized what was about to happen. Wait, I said. Wait, don't. But Taehyun had already moved. Fast. Professional. He grabbed Soo-yeon's jaw, forced it open, and Daesung poured the contents of the vial down her throat. She gagged. Choked. Screamed. When they released her, she collapsed to the floor, vomiting, sobbing, clawing at her own throat. 3 days, Daesung said, looking down at her without emotion. That's how long you have. Use them to think about what you did. You can't, she gasped between sobs. You can't just leave me to die. Please. There has to be an antidote. Please. There isn't, Taehyun said. We checked. They turned to leave. Daesung took my arm, guiding me toward the door. Malia. Soo-yeon screamed. Malia, please. You're a woman. You understand. Don't let them do this to me. I stopped. Looked back. She was on her knees, tears and snot streaming down her face, her whole body shaking. And I felt nothing. No pity. No mercy. Just cold satisfaction. You threatened my mother, I said quietly. You reap what you sow. I walked out. The door closed behind us, muffling her screams. I made it to the main floor before my legs gave out. Taehyun caught me before I hit the ground. Easy, he murmured. You're in shock. I just watched you kill someone. No, Daesung corrected, crouching beside us. You watched us deliver justice. There's a difference. Is there? I laughed, but it came out broken. She's going to die in agony. Because of me. Because of her choices, Daesung said firmly. She tried to kill me. She threatened your family. She allied with our enemies. Every single consequence she's facing is one she earned. Does it ever bother you? I looked at him. Killing people? He held my gaze. Would you prefer I let them kill you instead? That's not what I asked. It's the only answer that matters. He stood, pulling me to my feet. This is our world, Malia. This is what survival looks like. And if you stay with us, you need to accept that. I don't know if I can. Yes, you can, Taehyun said. His hand was still on my waist, steadying me. Because the alternative is watching your mother die. Your brother die. And dying yourself. If that's not enough motivation, I don't know what is. He was right. God help me, he was right. Come on, Daesung said. You need rest. We'll talk more in the morning. They walked me back to my room. Taehyun checked the windows and door while Daesung sat me on the bed. Are you afraid of us now? Daesung asked quietly. I thought about it. Really thought about it. I should be, I said. You just poisoned a woman to death. But she would have done the same to you. And she threatened my mother. So no. I'm not afraid of you. I'm afraid of what I'm becoming. His hand came up to cup my cheek. And what's that? Someone who thinks this is justice. It is justice, he said. In our world. And you're part of that world now, whether you want to be or not. I never asked for this. No one ever does. His thumb brushed across my cheekbone. But you made a choice at that dinner. You chose to save my life. And that choice has consequences. You can hate them. You can fight them. But you can't escape them. I closed my eyes. What happens now? Now we wait for the Choi family to make their next move. And when they do? We end them, Taehyun said from the doorway. Completely. Permanently. So they can never threaten you again. How many more people have to die? Daesung's smile was cold. However many it takes. They left me alone. I sat on that massive bed, in that luxurious cage, and tried to process what I'd witnessed. A woman poisoned to death. Slowly. Painfully. And I'd walked away without trying to stop it. What did that make me? My phone buzzed. A text from Daesung. Your mother is secure. 24-hour protection. Former Delta Force. She doesn't know they're there. She's safe. I stared at the message. Then I typed back. Thank you. His response came immediately. You don't have to thank us for protecting what's ours. What's ours? That phrase again. I should have been angry. Should have fought it. But lying there in the dark, listening to the guards outside my door, knowing that 8 men had died trying to get to me and more would come. I realized something. I didn't want to fight it. I wanted to be theirs. Because being theirs meant being protected. Being valued. Being seen. For 6 months I'd been invisible. Now I was the center of their world. And God help me, I liked it. I liked the way Daesung looked at me like I was precious and dangerous at the same time. I liked the way Taehyun's voice softened when he said my name. I liked being important enough to kill 4. What did that make me? A survivor. Or a monster. Maybe both. I fell asleep thinking about the locked room from 3 nights ago. About Daesung's kiss. About Taehyun's promise. You're ours now. And tomorrow, I'd stop fighting it. Day 3. 6:47 a.m. I woke up knowing exactly what I was going to do. No more running. No more pretending this was temporary. No more fighting what I'd become. I was done being rescued. I showered, taking my time, letting the hot water wash away the last of my hesitation. I put on one of the dresses they'd bought me, black silk that clung to every curve. Did my hair. Put on the perfume I'd found in the bathroom drawer. Expensive. Intoxicating. I looked at myself in the mirror. 3 days ago, I was a maid who cleaned their offices and stayed invisible. Now I was a woman preparing to walk into the lion's den and offer herself willingly. The 4 guards outside my door straightened when I emerged. Where are they? I asked. The brothers are in the main study, ma'am. Ma'am. Not miss or hey you. Ma'am. I was already changing in their eyes. Thank you, I said, and walked past them with my head high. I found them exactly where the guard said. The main study. Morning light streaming through the windows. Daesung at the desk reviewing documents. Taehyun on the leather couch, cleaning a disassembled pistol with methodical precision. They both looked up when I entered. And the temperature in the room shifted. Daesung's eyes traveled down my body slowly. Deliberately. You're up early. I couldn't sleep. Nightmares? Taehyun asked, his hands going still on the weapon. No. I closed the door behind me. Heard it click. Decisions. Daesung leaned back in his chair. What kind of decisions? I crossed the room until I was standing in front of his desk. You said I'm yours. That I became yours the moment I knocked over that wine glass. Yes. And you said that being yours means being protected. Being valued. Being seen. All true, Taehyun said from the couch. His voice had dropped an octave. He knew where this was going. Then I've made a decision. I met Daesung's dark eyes. I'm done fighting it. I'm done pretending this is temporary or that I'm going to walk away when the danger passes. You want me to be yours? Fine. But I need you to be mine too. Silence stretched between us. Then Daesung stood slowly. He moved around the desk, closing the distance until he was right in front of me. His hand came up to cup my jaw. Say it clearly, he said quietly. So there's no misunderstanding. What are you asking for, Malia? My heart was hammering. I'm asking you to claim me. Both of you. The way you wanted to 3 nights ago. No more protection. No more guards at the door. I want to choose this. Choose you. Completely. Something fierce and possessive flared in his eyes. You understand what that means? There's no going back from this. I know. Once we claim you, you're ours. Not for a year. Not until the danger passes. Forever. I know, I repeated, my voice steady. Taehyun was suddenly behind me. I hadn't even heard him move. His hands settled on my waist, his breath hot against my neck. You watched us poison a woman last night, he murmured. You saw what we're capable of. And you still want this? I want this because of what you're capable of, I said. Because you'd burn the world to keep me safe. Because you see me. All of me. And you want me anyway. Daesung's thumb brushed across my bottom lip. We've been holding back. Trying to give you time. Trying to let you adjust. But if you're asking us to stop holding back. I am. Then we do this properly. He stepped back. Looked at his brother. Some silent communication passed between them. Then they both moved. Taehyun's hand slid up to my throat, not squeezing, just claiming. Daesung's fingers found the zipper at the back of my dress. Last chance, Daesung said against my ear. Walk away now and we'll forget this conversation happened. We'll keep protecting you. Nothing changes except this. I reached back and covered his hand with mine. Guided the zipper down myself. I'm not walking away. The dress pooled at my feet. Fam, before we go any further, I need you to do something for me. If you've been riding with Malia this whole journey, hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a like. Leave a comment telling me if you're Team Daesung or Team Taehyun or if you want both. Because what happens next is going to blow your mind. Let's get into it. They didn't rush. That was the first surprise. After 3 days of tension, of heated looks and barely restrained desire, I expected them to pounce. Instead, they worshipped. Daesung's mouth found mine while Taehyun's hands explored every inch of exposed skin. Slow. Reverent. Like they had all the time in the world. We're not doing this in an office, Daesung said when he finally pulled back. You deserve better than that. He swept me up in his arms like I weighed nothing. Taehyun opened the door, and they carried me through the mansion. Staff members saw us. A maid gasped and looked away. A security guard smirked and nodded. They all knew what was happening. I should have been embarrassed. Instead, I felt powerful. They took me to the master bedroom. Not my guest room. Not some random space. Their room. The heart of their territory. The room was stunning. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul. A bed big enough for 4 people. Everything black and chrome and expensive. Daesung laid me on the bed like I was made of glass. I need you to understand something, he said, kneeling beside the bed so we were eye level. What we're about to do isn't just sex. It's a claiming. In our world, that means something. It's a bond. A promise. You become family in every way that matters. I understand. Do you? Taehyun sat on the other side of the bed. Because once we do this, every rival family will know. You'll have a target on your back forever. Not just until the Choi family is dealt with. Forever. Then you'll protect me forever, I said simply. They looked at each other again. That's silent language of brothers. Then Daesung smiled. Slow and dangerous. Yes, he said. We will. They undressed slowly. Deliberately. Letting me watch. Daesung first. His shirt came off revealing a body carved from violence, lean muscle, old scars, one nasty scar across his ribs from what looked like a knife wound. Choi family, he said, noticing my stare. 3 years ago. They tried to kill me at a business meeting. Failed obviously. Taehyun was next. His body was different, broader, more raw power. Burns on his shoulder. Bullet wounds on his chest. Occupational hazards, he said with a dark smile. They were beautiful and terrifying and mine. Daesung climbed onto the bed first. His hand slid up my calf, my thigh, settling possessively on my hip. Last night you said you were afraid of what you're becoming, he murmured. Don't be. What you're becoming is powerful. Dangerous in your own right. A woman who can stand beside us instead of behind us. I don't know how to be that. We'll teach you. His mouth found my neck. But first, we teach you pleasure. Then we teach you pain. Then we teach you power. Taehyun's hand threaded through my hair, tilting my head back. And you're going to love every lesson. Then they stopped talking. I'd never been touched like this. With the triplets in my other life, the one that felt like a dream now, it had been overwhelming. 3 men, all sensation, drowning in pleasure. This was different. This was 2 men who'd been watching me for days. Learning. Planning. Knowing exactly where to touch, how to kiss, what would make me gasp. Daesung took his time. His mouth explored every inch of skin, finding sensitive spots I didn't know I had. Behind my knee. The inside of my wrist. The curve where my neck met my shoulder. You're thinking again, he said against my ribs. I can feel it. Stop thinking. I can't help. Taehyun's mouth claimed mine, swallowing my words. His kiss was different from his brother's. Rougher. More demanding. Taking what he wanted. When he pulled back, I was gasping. Better, he approved. Now you're just feeling. They worked in perfect synchronization. When Daesung's mouth moved lower, Taehyun's hands took over above. Never leaving me untouched. Never giving me a moment to retreat into my head. Please, I heard myself whisper. Please, I need. What do you need? Daesung asked, his breath hot against my inner thigh. Say it. You. Both of you. I need. Not yet, Taehyun said firmly. You don't get to rush this. We've waited 3 days. We're going to take our time. He was right. They did take their time. They brought me to the edge again and again. Building pressure until I was shaking. Then backing off. Teaching my body their rhythm. Look at her, Daesung said to his brother. Look how beautiful she is like this. Desperate for us. Begging, Taehyun agreed. His hand slid down my stomach. But not begging hard enough. Please, I gasped. Please, I can't. You can, they said together. And you will. When they finally, let me fall, I screamed their names. Both of them. And they held me through it, their touches gentling but not stopping, drawing out my pleasure until I was boneless. That's one, Daesung said with satisfaction. We're giving you at least 5 more before either of us takes you. I can't possibly. Oh, you can, Taehyun promised. And you will. We're going to ruin you for anyone else, Malia. By the time we're done, you'll only respond to our touch. Only want our hands on you. Only scream our names. I already only want you. Something fierce flashed in both their eyes. Good, Daesung said. Then let us show you what that means. They kept their promise. 5 more times they brought me to the edge and pushed me over. Each one more intense than the last. Each one teaching me something new about my own body. By the 6th time, I was crying with pleasure, incoherent, completely at their mercy. Now, Daesung said. Now you're ready. He positioned himself above me. His eyes locked on mine. This is going to hurt at first, he warned. But I've got you. Do you trust me? Yes. Say my name. Daesung. I trust you, Daesung. He entered me slowly. So slowly. Letting me adjust. The pressure was intense, the stretch burning, but not unbearable. Breathe, Taehyun murmured in my ear. His hand found mine, squeezing. Just breathe through it. Daesung held still, giving me time. His forehead pressed against mine. You feel incredible, he said, his voice strained. Perfect. Like you were made for me. For us, Taehyun corrected. For us, Daesung agreed. The pain faded. Replaced by fullness. Then by pleasure as he began to move. Slow at first. Controlled. But I could feel his restraint fracturing. Faster, I gasped. Please, Daesung, I need. He complied. And any remaining pain vanished, consumed by sensation. Taehyun's hands never stopped moving. Adding stimulation. Making sure I stayed on the edge. When my climax hit, it took Daesung with me. He groaned my name, his control shattering. For a moment, we just breathed together. Then he pulled out carefully and Taehyun took his place. My turn, he said. His voice was rough with need. He was less gentle than his brother. Not cruel, but more demanding. Taking what he wanted. Showing me a different kind of claiming. You're ours now, he said, his hands gripping my hips hard enough to bruise. Say it. I'm yours. Both of us. Both of you. I'm yours, Daesung. I'm yours, Taehyun. I'm. The words dissolved into moans as he drove into me harder. When we finished, both brothers collapsed beside me. The 3 of us tangled together, breathing hard, covered in sweat. Mine, Daesung murmured, his hand possessive on my stomach. Ours, Taehyun corrected, his arm around my waist. Ours, Daesung agreed. I'd never felt safer. Or more dangerous. We stayed in that bed for hours. They took me again. And again. Teaching me pleasure. Teaching me their bodies. Teaching me how to take control, how to drive them as crazy as they drove me. By the time we finally stopped, the sun was setting. And I was different. Not just claimed. Transformed. How do you feel? Daesung asked, his fingers tracing lazy patterns on my shoulder. Like I could burn the world down. Taehyun laughed. That's the feeling. Hold on to it. You're going to need it. Why? The brothers exchanged looks. Because, Daesung said carefully, we just declared war. The moment our people saw us carrying you to this room, they knew. By sunset, every family in Seoul will know. The Kang brothers have claimed someone. That makes you a target and a symbol. A symbol of what? Power, Taehyun said. You're the woman we chose to protect. To claim. If the Choi family wants to hurt us, they have to go through you. And if they can't touch you, they look weak. So they'll come harder. They'll come with everything they have, Daesung confirmed. Tonight, probably. One final assault. Fear tried to claw its way up my throat. But I pushed it down. Then we'll be ready. No. Daesung sat up, his expression firm. You'll be in the panic room. Behind reinforced steel. Where nothing can touch you. Absolutely not. Both brothers stared at me. Malia, Taehyun said slowly. This isn't negotiable. You're right, I said, sitting up and meeting both their gazes. It's not. Because I'm not hiding anymore. You want me to be yours? To be family? Then treat me like family. Let me fight. You don't know how to fight, Daesung said. Then teach me. You have. I glanced at the window, checking the light, maybe 3 hours before they come. Teach me enough to survive. This is insane. You've said that before. I reached for the shirt Daesung had discarded hours ago, pulling it on. Right before you gave in. The brothers looked at each other. She's stubborn, Taehyun said. She gets that from us, Daesung replied. So you'll teach me? Another long silence. Then Daesung sighed. 1 hour. We'll teach you the basics. How to shoot. How to use cover. How to stay alive long enough for us to reach you. But Malia, his hand caught my chin, forcing me to look at him. If I tell you to run, you run. If I tell you to hide, you hide. Understood? Understood. Liar, Taehyun said, but he was smiling. She'll do exactly what she wants. I know, Daesung said. That's why I'm falling in love with her. The words hung in the air. I stared at him. What? You heard me. His thumb brushed across my cheek. I'm falling in love with you, Malia. Have been since the moment you knocked over that wine glass. Since you chose courage over safety. Since you looked at what we are and didn't run. I'm falling for you too, Taehyun added quietly. Both of us are. That's why this is so terrifying. We've never had someone to lose before. My eyes burned. You're not going to lose me. Promise us, Daesung said fiercely. Promise you'll survive tonight. I promise. I kissed him. Then turned and kissed Taehyun. I promise I'll survive. Because I'm falling for you too. Both of you. And I'm not letting the Choi family take that away from me. They taught me fast and brutal. In the mansion's private shooting range, they put a gun in my hands. This is a Glock 19, Daesung said. 15 rounds. Simple to use. Point and shoot. He showed me how to hold it. How to aim. How to control the recoil. I fired my first shot and nearly dropped the weapon. Again, he commanded. I fired 20 more times. By the end, I could hit the target. Not the center. But I could hit it. Good enough, Taehyun said. In a real fight, you won't have time to aim perfectly. Just point at the biggest target and pull the trigger until they stop moving. They showed me how to use cover. How to move through a room. How to reload. If someone grabs you, Daesung said, demonstrating, you don't pull away. You move in. Get close. Strike soft targets. Eyes, throat, groin. Anything to create distance. I practiced on him. He was patient, correcting my form, showing me how to use my weight. You're small, Taehyun said. But that's an advantage. You're harder to hit. You can hide in places they can't. Use that. 1 hour became 2. By the end, I was exhausted. But I was also ready. As ready as someone could be for war. The attack came at 9:47 p.m. Every light in the mansion went out simultaneously. Then the gunfire started. Not at the gates. Not at the perimeter. Inside. They'd gotten people inside somehow. Staff. Maintenance. Someone had betrayed us. Stay with me, Daesung ordered. He had a gun in each hand. Taehyun was on my other side, equally armed. We moved through the mansion like ghosts. The brothers knew every corridor, every room, every shadow. Gunfire echoed from the main floor. Screaming. The sound of bodies hitting the floor. How many? I whispered. At least 20, Taehyun said grimly. Maybe more. This is their final push. Everything they have left. We reached a balcony overlooking the main entrance. Below, chaos. Choi family soldiers everywhere. Black tactical gear. Professional. Deadly. And fighting them was the Kang family security. But they were outnumbered. We need to even the odds, Daesung said. He looked at me. Last chance to hide, Malia. I raised the gun they'd given me. Checked the magazine like they'd taught me. I'm not hiding. Pride flashed in his eyes. Then stay behind us. And don't hesitate. If someone aims at you, you shoot first. We went down the stairs. Into hell. I killed my first person at 9:52 p.m. A Choi soldier came around the corner. Saw us. Raised his weapon. I didn't think. I just fired. 3 shots. Center mass. Like they'd taught me. He went down. I stared at his body. At the blood spreading across the marble. Malia. Taehyun's shout snapped me back. Move. More soldiers. Coming from every direction. The brothers moved like dancers. Fluid. Precise. Every shot found its target. I stayed behind them. Fired when I had clear shots. Reloaded when they told me. And I didn't hesitate. Every person who aimed at us, I shot. Every threat, I eliminated. I became the thing I was afraid of becoming. A killer. And I felt nothing but cold satisfaction. The battle lasted 23 minutes. When it ended, there were bodies everywhere. Choi family. Kang family. Blood on every surface. Daesung had been shot. His shoulder. He was still standing, still fighting, but blood soaked his shirt. Taehyun had a knife wound across his ribs. Shallow, but bleeding. I had a graze across my arm from a bullet that came too close. But we were alive. All 3 of us. Is it over? I asked, my voice shaking. Not yet, Daesung said. He was looking at the entrance. A figure stepped through. Older. Distinguished. Expensive suit. Flanked by 10 more soldiers. Choi Dongwook, Taehyun said quietly. The head of the family. The man smiled. Kang brothers. And this must be the infamous Maid. The woman worth starting a war over. She's worth burning the world for, Daesung said coldly. And you're about to learn that firsthand. Am I? Choi Dongwook gestured. His men raised their weapons. I have 10 men. You have 2 guns and a wounded shoulder. The math doesn't favor you. You're right, a new voice said. Grandmother Kong stepped into view. Behind her were at least 30 men. All armed. All loyal. The math doesn't favor them, she continued, her voice sharp as broken glass. But it favors us. Choi Dong-wook's face went pale. You attacked my home, grandmother said. You tried to kill my grandsons. You threatened family. There is no forgiveness for that. She gave a small hand gesture. The Kong soldiers opened fire. It was over in seconds. Choi Dong-wook died still holding his gun. When the shooting stopped, grandmother walked to where we stood. She looked at Dae-sung's wound. At Taehyun's blood. At the gun still in my hand. You fought, she said to me. Yes, ma'am. You killed for my grandsons. Yes, ma'am. She smiled. Good. That's what family does. She turned to her grandsons. The Choi family is finished. Their businesses, their territory, their legacy. All of it ends tonight. Seoul is ours again. Because of her, Dae-sung said, pulling me against his good side. She saved us again. Then she's earned her place, grandmother said. She looked at me. Malia Johnson. You are no longer a maid in this house. You are a daughter of the Kong family. Do you accept? Tears burned my eyes. Yes. I accept. Good. She kissed my forehead. Welcome home. 3 months later. I stood in front of the mirror in the master bedroom. The same room where they'd claimed me. But everything was different now. The dress I wore was traditional Korean. White and gold. Wedding silk. Today wasn't just a claiming. It was official. Dae-sung entered behind me. His shoulder had healed completely. He looked devastating in his traditional hanbok. Ready? He asked. Terrified. He smiled. Good. Fear keeps you sharp. 9 months later. The baby girl in my arms had Dae-sung's eyes and Taehyun's smile. She was perfect. Fierce already, screaming her demands at 3 a.m. without hesitation. She's definitely a Kong, grandmother said, holding her great-granddaughter with tears streaming down her face. Strong. Stubborn. Powerful. She gets that from her mother, Dae-sung said, his arm around my waist. Damn right she does, I said. We named her Min-ji. Clever and wise. Because in this world, in this family, she'd need to be both. Dae-sung and Taehyun stood on either side of me, looking at their daughter with expressions I'd never seen before. Pure, overwhelming love. Thank you, Dae-sung said quietly. For saving my life. For choosing us. For giving us this. Thank you for seeing me, I replied. For making me family. For loving me when I was invisible. You were never invisible, Taehyun said. We just weren't looking close enough. But we're looking now. And we'll never stop. I leaned into them. My husbands. My protectors. My partners in everything. From invisible maid to Kong family matriarch. From victim to warrior. From alone to surrounded by love. This was my life now. Dangerous. Dark. Beautiful. And I wouldn't change a single second. Epilogue. 2 years later, I sat in the main office where this all started. The same desk where Dae-sung used to work while I cleaned around him, invisible. Now I sat in the chair across from him, reviewing territory maps and business deals. Making decisions that affected thousands of lives. Taehyun entered with Min-ji on his hip. She was talking in rapid Korean and broken English, telling him a very important story about her stuffed tiger. There's movement in Busan, I said, pointing to the map. The Lee family is getting bold again. I'll handle it, Dae-sung said. We'll handle it, I corrected. Together. Like we do everything. He smiled. Together. Min-ji reached for me and I took her, settling her on my lap. She grabbed a marker and started helping with the map. This was my life. Business negotiations with a toddler on my lap. Strategy meetings interrupted by diaper changes. Board meetings where I carried a gun under my designer suit. Some people might think it was crazy. But it was mine. And I'd fought for every inch of it. I love you, Daesung said suddenly. I love you too, Taehyun added from the doorway. I love you both, I replied. Even when you're being overprotective and ridiculous. That's our job, they said together. Minji looked up at me with those serious eyes. Mama? Yes, baby. Love you. And just like that, my heart shattered and reformed all over again. I love you too, Minji. More than anything in this world. The end. Family, we made it to the end. If you rode this entire journey with Malia from Invisible Maid to Kong Family Queen, I need you to hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a like if this story had you in a chokehold. And leave a comment telling me. What was your favorite moment? Team Daesung or Team Taehyun? Because here's the thing, besties. Malia's story started with a choice. One moment of courage that changed everything. And she proved that you don't have to start powerful to become powerful. You just have to be brave enough to choose yourself. Remember, sometimes the most dangerous love is the most worth fighting for. Thank you for riding this journey with me. See you in the next.